Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to Sniper Elite, where today we are going to be looking at the evolution of shotguns in Sniper Elite games. So without further ado, let's get into this. Sniper Elite 3 contained no base game shotguns, with the only secondaries in the base game roster being the MP40, Thompson, Sten and Panzerschreck. However, the Hunter Weapons Pack, released on the 27th of June 2014, provided the series' first Winchester Model 1897 trench gun. The trench gun was slow but powerful, much like the other weapons in the pack, the slow, powerful M1917 revolver, and the SVT, which is neither slow nor powerful. Just look at that damage. The trench gun in Sniper Elite 3 is excellent. If your definition for excellent is in fact absolute rubbish, you wouldn't wish upon your worst enemy. Although in this case your worst enemy are the Nazis, who are shooting at you, and I can tell you you'd much rather be shot at with a trench gun instead of with an MP40, because it would make the game very easy indeed. The trench gun has abysmal spread, a woeful one-shot kill range, slow reloads, and you start the level with very little ammunition, and this being Sniper Elite 3, it's going to be basically impossible to find any more throughout the level. Admittedly, if you play Sniper Elite 3 the way it's supposed to be played, i.e. cowering behind the big, strong, muscular HDM for the duration of the playthrough, you'll never need to experience any trench gun ammo problems, or indeed any trench gun at all. But if you do, you will quickly find that this gun is no good. But better things were to come. Sniper Elite 4 saw the return of the trench gun, this time available in the base game. To unlock the trench gun, one must find it in a mission, and then kill a sniper with it, something you're supposed to do in Batanti Village, as you can find a trench gun in the Partisan HQ and occasionally in the starting area. Unmodified, the trench gun is an acceptable weapon. Its one-shot kill range is similar to how it was in 3, that is to say, undesirable, but the grouping is much better, which means you'll generally be getting 2 or 3 shot kills at ranges where in Sniper Elite 3 you weren't hitting the target at all. However, the trench gun really comes into its own when it's upgraded, as the one-shot kill range is extended to a greater distance and the grouping is improved, which makes the weapon all round more consistent and now properly viable. The trench gun is still up against tough rivals though. It competes against the submachine guns for an inventory slot, and the Sniper Elite 4's submachine guns were very good, especially if we're talking about upgraded guns, which we are. It couldn't compete with the Sten MP40 and FNAB at range. Whilst it does have the ability to kill instantly, the PPSH and OVP both have near instantaneous times to kill, with the added bonus that you can easily pop off some headshots if your target is in cover, which in Sniper Elite 4, they always are. Admittedly, if you didn't have the DLC, the best close range weapon was going to be the MAB 38, which is worse than the trench gun, so maybe that was its niche. But the trench gun is undoubtedly more fun than its rivals, the submachine guns, and in a video game that goes a long way. And besides, the precise headshots at close range can be left to the pistols, which were perhaps the most powerful they've ever been. In order to complement the trench gun, the Lock and Load weapons pack brought the M30 Drilling, the absolute GOAT of the shotgun race. The Drilling is more powerful than the trench gun, it has a better one-shot kill range, tighter grouping and a faster fire rate. It only has 2 shotgun round capacity, as opposed to the trench gun's 5, but it has a third barrel which fires rifle rounds. This is exceptionally useful, as it now solves the problem of popping heads past cover, and although the rifle round isn't powerful enough to kill without a headshot, it's great as a follow-up on the rare non-lethal shotgun blast, or for destroying vehicles. The Drilling is great because of the incredible damage range. You can be at ranges where you worry about using a submachine gun, and the Drilling will finish off most targets without even having to revert to using the rifle barrel. The natural disadvantage is of course the limited capacity and the slow reloads. But if you ignore that, the drilling is one of the most powerful guns ever to grace a Sniper Elite game. Sniper Elite 5 had no shotguns in the base game, in what I think is actually quite a large failing on the part of Rebellion, especially seeing as there were base game shotguns in Sniper Elite 4. However, at the end of Season 1, we were given the surprise of the century, when the Derringer shown on the DLC roadmap was delayed, and instead we were given the drilling. This was definitely a good thing. It meant that we didn't see all three of the game's shotguns launch in the same season, and assuming that the drilling would have launched when the Derringer ended up launching, it meant we didn't see all three of the game's shotguns launching on the same day. And it's doubly great because if I'd paid my own money for the Derringer, I would have unfortunately had to burn down Rebellion's headquarters. The drilling in Sniper Elite 5 functions pretty much as it did in 4. It's the most powerful, most accurate shotgun in the game, but it's held back by its small ammunition capacity. However, one big change was that for Sniper Elite 5, Rebellion opted to remove the rifle function from the drilling, instead giving it 3 shotgun barrels. This is a major downgrade in my opinion because it doesn't make sense, especially seeing as the drilling is still modelled with a rifle barrel. There's no way you could fit a 12 gauge shotgun round in that thing. If they were dead set on not giving it the rifle functionality, they should have at least done what Zombie Army 4 did and model it with 3 shotgun barrels, but no. The drilling is also complete with the 3 different barrel lengths, those being the default one, the extended one, which is actually closer to the drilling in real life, and then the sawn-off barrels, which sadly are not complemented by a sawn-off stock. Overall, the drilling in Sniper Elite 5 has changed very little in the way it occupies its space in the sandbox, but honestly I think that's a good thing. For Season 2, we got 2 content drops right off the bat, the first one being the Trench Warfare content pack, which was a free pack that included the Trench Gun, Gustav and Derringer. The Trench Gun, however, did not have a smooth launch. It was erroneously named the M97 Trench Gun, even though it's based on a Winchester model 1912, and not a Winchester model 1897 like in previous games. Additionally, the shell loops attachment wouldn't unlock when you reached the unlock criteria, and the bayonet, which was arguably this thing's main selling point, didn't work at all. But once they'd fixed all of that, the trench gun turned out to be really rather good. Like the other shotguns, it was incredibly versatile, and it occupied a great space between the drilling and the Sjorgen, while still having some standout factors of its own, like the highest capacity of any shotgun, and the fact that it's the only secondary that can take a bayonet. Something they didn't fix is the terrible animation quality. I discussed this in my Season 2 review, but I'll go over it again just because I think it's worth drawing your attention to. The pump animation doesn't take into account where you're looking. If you're looking at your feet, Carl will still pull the trench gun all the way back up so it's facing straight ahead before pumping it, which looks really stupid. In both Sniper Elite 4 and even in Sniper Elite 3, this wasn't the issue, so I have no idea why it's even a problem here. The trench gun is a great weapon, but I think it acts as a display of the poor quality of some of Sniper Elite 5's content. And finally, alongside the trench gun, we got the Rough Landing pack, which included, amongst other things, the Sjorgen, the series' first semi-automatic shotgun. The Sjorgen combines a rapid rate of fire with great accuracy, reload speed, muzzle velocity, and a nice 5-round capacity. Although it is less effective at range than its rivals due to its lower damage and spread accuracy, it can still be modified into an absolute beast of a shotgun capable of desecrating targets at range. The Sjorgen is my personal favourite in this game, and it's the secondary weapon you'll see me using the most. Sniper Elite 5 also added another facet of depth to the game's shotguns with special ammunition types. Alongside the default buckshot, we got the 24 shot, which had a larger number of pellets per shell than the default shot at the cost of worse spread accuracy. This works best in the Sjorgren in my opinion, although realistically the 24 shot is worse than the default buckshot, so I wouldn't take it at all. There's also the 36 shot, which has fewer pellets but has superior spread accuracy, which works best in the trench gun as it's the only weapon that has a noticeable boost to range with this shot. We also get the non-lethal rock salt, although loading a shotgun full of rock salt doesn't sound very non-lethal to me. There's little in the way of difference with the rock salt shells, but I found the drilling worked best with them. And finally we have the two nastiest of shells, the piercing slug round and the rifled soft slug, which do incredible damage and have perfect accuracy and a maximum range of over 200 meters with no bullet drop or windage. The slug works best in the drilling. As with the Sjorgren, I've had it where I've hit marked enemies despite the slugs supposedly doing thousands of points of damage. I really like all the different ammo types of shotguns except the non-lethal, although I have to say that there's very little reason to take any of them but the slugs. Shotguns have come a long way in Sniper Elite games. From the woeful trench gun in Sniper Elite 3 to a trio of incredibly powerful secondary weapons in Sniper Elite 5, they've really progressed in leaps and bounds. They also managed to be the most fun of all the secondaries, at least in Sniper Elite 4 and 5, which is great. But what shotguns do you think we'll see in the next Sniper Elite game? Thank you everyone for watching the video. Remember to like, subscribe and comment. It costs you nothing and it's a great way to help out the channel. Stay safe and goodbye.